I'm Jessica, and welcome to Reality Check. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode where I check off your list with the season 2 premiere of Love Island Games. I can't believe we are already talking about Love Island again. I know it's not Love Island, the Love Island that we get in the summertime, but I feel like we all needed a little bit more of a break from Love Island. 2 months is not enough. Like, I haven't missed Love Island enough for now to be watching Love Island Games and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I've missed it so much. Like, for me, that's the beauty of Love Island, is that it's once a year. It's the show of the summer and it's something to look forward to. And you have to, at least for me, like, plan out my nights. Okay, 5-6 nights out of the week, I need to watch this show. And it's like, I have to mentally prepare for 2 months that I have to watch this show every single evening. And now I got to do it all over again 2 months later. I think this is only 3 weeks, but still, I feel like this could have happened even in like the end of October, November, or even maybe in January. I feel like I would have been happy with this in January, but I don't know. It's only been 2 months and like so much is still going on social media about the cast from season 7 that it's like I haven't just been able to miss the show enough. But here we are. So this is season 2 of Love Island Games, and I did watch season 1 last year. And I have to be honest, like, I don't even remember who won Love Island Games season 1. Like, it just feels like so long ago. And when I was thinking back about season 1, I was like, was it live? Was it not live? It was confirmed. Ariana, like, basically confirmed my question because I was obviously going to look it up before recording. But no, like, season 1 was all pre-recorded. And so I think what's really interesting about how they're approaching season 2 is it's like the Love Island that we know and love, where it's basically happening in real time. America is able to vote and can help influence the game. So I think that is a really good, addition or change up to the show, because it just brings in like the true Love Island formula that we do know and love, and is able to bring in the audience. And then things can get messy because America's able to influence and people can get out, even if maybe they don't want people to get out. Like, this is definitely going to up the mess factor, I'm sure. But I think I don't know. I think my overall opinion is it's a little bit too early for us to be watching the show. And what's also interesting about Love Island Games as opposed to Love Island is like, okay, I get it. Influencers go on. They go on for clout. Are they really going on for love? But they have to pretend. Even if they're like, I just want to gain Instagram followers and I just want brand deals, like, they at least have to pretend that they're there for the quote unquote right reasons. Like, you cannot have someone go on like the true Love Island and be like, yeah, I'm not here for love. I'm just here for like clout and fame and money. Like, they would be axed in a heartbeat. Everyone knows that you can't say anything like that. But with Love Island Games, it's Love Island Games. So you have people there like Chris being like, yeah, I'm not here for love. I'm here just for the money, which is really interesting because, they're actually allowed to be open about the, reasons why they want to be on this show. They don't care to find love. They don't care to make a connection. They don't care to meet anyone. They just want the money. And it is not a bad chunk of change. It's $250K, which is the biggest prize pot that Love Island has ever seen, which, in retrospect, when you look at all the other shows, like, look at Big Brother. Big Brother is $750,000. The Challenge, Survivors, 1 million, like, 250. For me, that is life-changing. And it's funny because, well, it's life-changing to a degree. Like, I'm sure I could put a deposit down on a house. Even Ariana was like, that is life-changing money. Life-changing money. She kept repeating it. And it's funny because Huda just did a commercial for the NFL. I'm sure that, she was probably looking at a nice chunk of change, maybe ringing in the $100,000 range. So, that's what this show can do. And it's like, the prize pot, yes, can be somewhat life-changing, I guess, but it's also kind of like whatever happens after the fact is also life-changing, because look at everyone from season 7. Nick and Elandria, man, that couple has every post as some sort of brand deal. Like, they are absolutely kind of killing the brand deal game from this season. And I mean, is that why maybe why they're still together? Don't know. Gonna reserve my opinions, but I don't know. I just think, yes, 250. It's nice to finally see 250 though, because let's be real, 100K, how can you really get that excited about someone or a pair winning 100K, knowing if like they both choose each other and not money, then they get 50K, and then after tax they're getting 25K each. That's not really that exciting. So at least there's a little bit of like skin in the game, at 250K. What else is really interesting about this show is, let's say you're like Chris and you're like, yo, I'm just here straight for the games and I just want to win. I want to make it all the way to the end. You can choose to be partnered up with someone that is, equally as strong as you are competition wise, right? Like, I mean, here's the thing. It's like, is it even fair that Chris is allowed to be on the show? This man is like almost 7 feet tall. He's a giant. He's a professional athlete. Like, whoever gets paired up with him is, to me, has a competitive edge. But needless to say, it's like, you can pair up with someone that is really competitive, really good at competitions, and know that like you're gonna make it to the end, because if you win and dominate every single competition, you have no chance of going home. That's what it seems to be, right? Like, that's what Ariana said. If you just constantly win the challenges and make it all the way to the end, you're sitting pretty. And I'm sure America can't really, their votes can't influence whether you go home or not, because you probably have immunity. Or the other option of the show is you're also here for love and you're here to find people. And, you can pair up with someone that maybe is like a weaker link in competitions, but like you genuinely want to be with them. You want to be coupled up with them. So I find that really interesting too, because it's like, I feel like we have already seen how people want to be matched up and like how they're kind of thinking, if they want to be there for the games or they want to be there for love. Like, it's really interesting to see who wants to be there for love and who wants to be there for money. I'm not surprised about Chris that he's only in it for the games. I mean, he was never there for love, even on his previous season. And he kept saying, oh, I could be playing ball right now overseas, but I'm choosing to be here and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I never bought it for a second. I always thought that he had ulterior motives, that he just wanted the brand deals, the fame, the money, whatever it was. And so him coming on this show literally 2 months after him being in the villa and saying, you know what, this time I'm not here for love, I just want the money. I'm like, yeah, I think you've always been here for the money and the fame and everything that comes along with it. But who am I to say that? Okay, so let's get into the cast. And what I really like about Love Island Games is like we get people from around the world, other people that have been on other Love Island franchises that are just not from the US, right? So we have USA, we have Belgium, we have UK, and there's a lot of people that I don't know, and I find that kind of cool that it's like, okay, yeah, I know the people, everyone that was on the USA season, but then all of these other people, I would say it's like a good mix, like half and half USA, half kind of from other countries, which I think is really interesting. So the first person that we see is KK, and I mean, if you remember KK on season 5, she was absolutely beloved. Everyone loved her. She was kind of like the Janae of her season. Like, everyone was really behind her. But do you remember? She was with Keenan. She was coupled up with Keenan, and like she was so googly eyed over Keenan, and like he was just massive red flags. This guy, massive red flags, and like he would try to go from girl to girl to girl to girl, but then he would always somehow end back up with KK. And the audience, like, we were like, oh my god, this guy sucks. Like, we do not. The audience hated Keenan. Like, he would be up in Casa Amor and like with other girls, and KK's like sleeping outside. And then at one point, America hated him so much because he was not treating her the way that she should have been treated because everyone loved her and thought she just deserved so much better. America voted him out and she left with him, which, sucks so much. So I'm really happy to see KK. And I mean, she's already, I feel like, getting googly eyes for Chris, which worries me. It worries me because I hope we don't see a pattern with her of like, she just sticks with one guy and like, I mean, I find that really endearing about her where it's like, she is there for the right reasons. Like, yes, it's great that you can win $250K, but she also just really genuinely wants to find love. And she made that known when she was talking with Andrea. She really wants to find love. So I just hope she doesn't put all of her eggs in one basket like she did with Keenan. And I hope she kind of just plays a field because she is such a beautiful girl and she just seems like such a genuine person. Next, we have Andrea, and Andrea was on Love Island, USA Season 6, and I mean, there was the whole scandal with Andrea leaving because she was partnered up with Rob. I mean, do you remember Rob and the snakes and all that? And I mean, listen, they were only partnered up. They were only coupled up for like a week. And so it's like this huge dramatics happened when her and Rob were coupled up and the girls voted to get rid of her off the island. They voted her out. But Rob wasn't voted out. He was voted, like, he just was staying. He was voted to stay. And so there was like this whole scandal about like, oh my gosh, like you girls are all playing like the game, like they're in such a strong couple, like the strongest couple here, and she is so into him and he's so into her. And then like everyone was like, is Rob gonna, follow suit, and is Rob gonna leave and follow her home? And he never did. And so when Andrea left the villa, she was, looked to be pretty annoying on social media because she was posting like 4, 5, 6 times a day. And everyone's like, girl, like, you really didn't get that much airtime. You really weren't in the villa that long. Like, again, it was so early on in the season. So it's like we're seeing you post online even more than you were actually on the show. So a lot of people got the ick for that. And she was getting a lot of hate when she came outside of the villa because she was, again, like, it's like people know what this show, I mean, maybe not even at that time she necessarily knew how big the show was because the show really blew up at season 6 and she left at the beginning of season 6. But I think, it's Love Island. It's a big opportunity. So she's just posting and people were annoyed. And then when Rob left the villa and he saw everything she was doing on social media, that's why he never reached out to her because he was like, ooh, like it's too much. Like I kind of have the ick kind of thing. Honestly, I like her on this season. I know it's been only one episode, but I liked her in the last season and I liked her this season. I don't really find her annoying. I actually really loved seeing her and Josh pair up. We'll talk about that. I was so into that pairing. But honestly, too, I'm like, this girl, she needs to stop with the Rob references. It's like, okay, because you were partnered up with Rob, you have to constantly remind us. And like, she was in there with the snakes and she was like, oh, I hate snakes. I have PTSD because of Rob. I'm like, okay, like, come on. It's been a year. You've had a boyfriend since then. And apparently, word on the street on Twitter or on X, whatever we call it, is that her and her boyfriend broke up like 2 weeks before she left for the show. So super fresh. Don't know. I mean, I'm going to assume that it's pretty accurate, but it was super fresh. So kind of interesting to see her knowing that, like seeing her in the light of like, she doesn't, I mean, I guess you're on Love Island, so you're going to be in a great mood. But I mean, fresh out of a breakup 2 weeks after you break up, you've been together almost a year. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you can be 100% in this show for love, maybe for the money. But she's saying she's also in it for the love. And, if she meets someone, she meets someone. All right, so we have Andreina, which we saw, obviously, on last season. We didn't see a lot of her. And what I found was interesting about this episode is she got a lot of airtime. I would even say just more airtime than she even got on the last season. And to me personally, I thought that her personality really shone through in this episode, more so than it did in the last season. I don't mind her. Like, I know a lot of people have their opinions on her. I don't mind her at all. She hasn't really done anything wrong in my eyes, and I don't really necessarily find her annoying, and I think she is beautiful, and I think her and Tyreek look fantastic together. So we'll see. And I find it very interesting that, like, her and Tyreek have chatted before this show. You know, it kind of brings that, like, fourth wall a little bit. They have shared DMs, and I mean, she says, I mean, who wouldn't have been in her DM? She's like, everyone has been in my DMs that has been on the show. I'm not surprised, but I think it's really interesting that, like, her and Tyreek have already developed some sort of offline relationship. What that looks like is left to be seen, but I do find that interesting that they've chatted, they've connected, and obviously they have a great connection. They're coupled up, and we'll see what happens between them. Obviously, it makes sense that Tyreek follows suit right after Angelina because, I mean, she's talking about him with the girl. She's like, guys, like, Tyreek, he slid into my DMs. Like, everyone else that slid into my DMs, like, he is really the one that stands out. Lo and behold, he walks in, not surprised whatsoever. I don't know who he is. He was on the UK season 10. Haven't watched that season. I've only watched a few UK seasons, and the only one I've ever watched from beginning to end was season 5, because if you know, you know, Molly May and Tommy Fury. If you know, obviously, I'm going to watch that from beginning to end. All the other UK seasons, I've maybe watched like 2, 3, 4, and I kind of stopped after Casa Amor because they are just so long. So needless to say, have not watched his season, and he says he's leaning on the side of being there more so for money than for love, which can get interesting because obviously Angelina is very, very into him, and I think Angelina is there for love. Like, I think to her it's like the money is nice and I'm hot off the season from last, so I'm sure, you know, she has opportunities already coming her way. So I can see her there being more for love, because I also just don't think she had a fair chance and a fair shot on her previous season. So that can maybe get interesting if Tyreek is like, he wants to win, and maybe Angelina isn't pulling her weight in the challenges. Maybe he has to jump ship. That is where this show is going to get very, very interesting. So we'll see how it goes between them two. It's too early to say right now. But again, if he wants to win, and I mean, I don't think she did that good in the challenge, then maybe he's going to jump ship, or maybe he's going to be so into Angelina, he's not going to want to leave her, but you never know. Okay, so then we get Lucinda walks in with him as well. She was on Love Island UK and Australia. Again, I didn't know her as well, but I like her energy. I think she's funny. I feel like she's like the funny one, like the lighthearted one that's going to bring like the good energy and the good vibes. I mean, she was so cute. Like at the end of the episode, I know I'm jumping ahead, when she was like, it's just not my day today. I love the UK banter, and I kind of like, I find it so endearing. So I like Lucinda. Again, too early to kind of tell what's going to go on with her. I mean, we already know the poor girl is vulnerable at the end of this episode, but I hope someone comes in for her. Maybe she partners up with the vulnerable guy at the end, don't know, but she really did have all eyes on Mert, and I thought her and Mert looked good, so I don't know, but you never know. It's Love Island Games. Expect the unexpected. Maybe they'll just come back in the next episode. Okay, Kendall. We all know Kendall. Kendall from season 6. He was coupled up with Nicole. Remember the whole controversy in the video and the reunion? And yeah, this guy, honestly, he has been through it, but I can't stand him. Like, I honestly just can't stand him because I feel like he thinks he's like Love Island royalty. Like, he walked in and everyone knows who I am. And if you don't, then you need to bow down to me because I am king. Like, I feel like that's what he thinks in his mind. He's like, yeah, I'm the king of Love Island. I can't stand him. He really gives me the ick. I'm surprised that he is back on our screens because, like I said, like, he dealt with a lot on what happened after last season with the video. Not going to get into it. If you want to know, go look it up. I'm just really surprised that Garby chose to be with him. But, I mean, Garby probably doesn't even know who he is. So Garby probably just doesn't have the ick yet because she doesn't know who he is and maybe just hasn't seen him at all. Oh, he screams to me. He wants fame so bad. He wants to be in the limelight as much as possible. Any chance that he can get, he will take it because it's more opportunities, more money, more brand deals, more exposure, and all of that. He is honestly so cringy. He really is. I don't know. So we'll see. I'm assuming Garby maybe will get the ick at some point in this season. And he didn't do good in the challenge at all. Didn't he come in last? And Garby came in first. So, yeah. I don't think Kendall, and he always goes your boy Kendall, and you're not my boy. No one wants you to be our boy. You're just not our boy. It's just very, very annoying. So, we'll see. I honestly, no one in the US season definitely wanted to go for him because they know him. They know the ick that he just has. So we'll see. We'll see if Garby gets the ick, and we'll see how long this guy lasts. But he honestly just gives me the ick, and every time he's on my screen, I'm like, ooh. Cringing a little bit over here. Okay, so then next was Isaiah that walked in, and he was on season 4 of the US version. And when I saw him, I'm like, you look familiar, but I can't remember you. I feel like I just forget. People, previous to season 6, that was 2+ years ago, right? His season was 3 years ago. So it's just hard to remember. It was so long ago. But then when he was talking about Sydney and she dumped him, obviously rightfully so, because some videos, were sent to her of him cheating. And I'm like, oh yeah, Sydney. I totally remember Sydney. So, they were together for a while. And then I guess he cheated on her. And here's the thing too. It's anyone that has cheated and it's out in the public, do you actually think that they're going to want to couple up with you for love? I wouldn't want to be dating a cheater. You know what I mean? So it's okay, you're a known cheater because it wasn't it was private. Everyone knows this, that knows Love Island and that has followed your season or knows what went down. So why would someone want to couple up with the cheater and be oh yeah, I'm doing it willingly because I want, I'm interested in him and love? No, if he's killing it in the challenges, okay, fine. And you want to partner up with him and just strictly, it's okay, platonic, let's go, let's make it to the end, sure. But to willingly partner up with a cheater and then he cheated on someone from the show, once a cheater, always a cheater. And I know that people can he even said, he's I've matured, I've learned from my mistakes and yada, yada, yada. But it's it's kind of too close for comfort because you're back here on Love Island and then you cheated with someone from a previous Love Island season and are you going to do it again? So I don't know. I really didn't remember him. And then I remembered back to what happened and I'm yeah, no, thank you. So we'll see. Okay, next we have Garby. And I think Garby might be my favorite of the season. She is just so fun. I really like her. She was on the Belgian version of Love Island. And I find it so fascinating that she has an I don't know if you want to call it American accent, but I guess an American accent. She doesn't have a Belgian accent, which is crazy. And I think it's really cool. She was I just watched American shows, watched a ton of YouTube videos, and that's how I learn English. And then I just developed this American accent. So I find that kind of fascinating, honestly. And I really like her. I, again, am, not loving that she's coupled up with Kendall, but I think hopefully she'll realize that he is eccentric and will leave his ass. But again, I'm loving her, and she killed the challenge. She killed it. She came in first. Out of everyone that did the challenge, she came in first. So I'm yes, I love a girl that can compete. I love a girl that can just smash the boys. And so I think Garby is my favorite right now to take it all the way to the end. Okay, then we got Mert walking in. Honestly, I really don't know how to pronounce his name because everyone was kind of saying it differently, but I think you don't say the T. Like, I think it's silent, so it's like Mert. I don't know. Mert. Let's just go with that. So he was also on the Belgian version of Love Island. I mean, he's a beautiful man. He's a beautiful man. You know, he won his season. What I also find is really interesting is, I guess this is maybe something in Belgium, that they do a Casa Amor All-Stars. Never heard of it. He was on that show too. Maybe it's like the Casa Amor guys and the girls kind of like have a redemption arc and they come back. I don't know. But then he won his season. So then why would he need a redemption? I don't know. Needless to say, he's a beautiful man. And I think he's a really sweet guy. Like, he genuinely seems like such a nice guy. And I feel bad for him because obviously English is not his first language. And we can see him, like, he's struggling and he's like, oh, like, I don't really know how to say this in English. And Ariana's like, oh, it's okay. Just say it in your language. And I feel bad because it's like I feel like he can't feel like his true self if he's speaking a language that he's not 100% comfortable speaking. And it's like his personality can't necessarily shine through because he's always, you know, maybe stumbling on his words and trying to really hard to think of what he's going to say. So I hope that doesn't negate I hope that doesn't hold him back, you know, and I hope that doesn't get him sent home early, but I really like him. So I just think he's a really genuinely good guy too. Like, he was just saying such nice things, and I was like, oh, that's so nice and so sweet. And we need nice guys on the show because I'm the first to say it. Every single year, every single season, we get guys that absolutely suck. And finally, we have this really genuinely nice guy, Mert. So I hope that he stays. And I hope that, you know, the language barrier doesn't hinder him from being open to the experience. And whether he is there for love or money, like, I hope he is able to enjoy the experience regardless of him feeling maybe a little bit uncomfortable because he doesn't, you know, English isn't his first language. All right. Then we have Nicola, and she was on Love Island Malta. Very cool. And I mean, the thing that stands out to me about Nicola is that her Kim K impression was not great. And I feel bad because obviously she's not American, and so she has an accent. And so she's probably like so excited because like she can do an American accent. And to me, that's what that impression was giving. That it was just an American, like a American girl, American female accent. It wasn't Kim K. And just because she was talking about Louis Vuitton and this and that, I mean, it didn't really make it Kim K, but I felt bad, and I think she's really cute, and I think what I really like about her is she's very different from, like, any girl that we would necessarily see on the show. You know what I mean? Like, not to say that, like, the girls are fake that go on the show, because that's not what I mean, but, like, she just seems real. You know? It's, like, it's not about the boobs, it's not about the lips, it's not about the filler, it's not about the, like, she just seems like a real girl, which I really like. I don't know how long she's gonna last. I don't, because I don't know who is into her, because her partner who she coupled up with is definitely not into her. I think she was with Isaiah, and I don't think Isaiah is into her at all. So I don't know. I think she's really cute and endearing. I mean, I feel like her and like Mert would be cute. No? I mean, yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. But I'm liking her, but I don't see her lasting long. I really don't. So next up we have Josh, and I love Josh. I have followed Josh all the way back since his season in season 3. And I mean, I think he has just such a beautiful story, right? Like it's such a absolutely heartbreaking story, actually. It's heartbreaking and beautiful because, I mean, he left his season because he found out that his sister had passed away. And so he left, and Shannon, who he was coupled up with at the time, like, they were 100% going to win that season. They were together since day one. They left together, and he obviously went to be with his family. And I think what's beautiful now about his story is, like he said, he's here for his sister. Like, he feels like called to come back here, kind of, where that he found out about her passing like 5 years prior. So I really like him. I've always liked him. He just seems like a good guy, and we'll see. Like, I'm rooting for him. I am, because he's obviously has been through it, and he hasn't done anything, I don't think, bad. Like, I don't think he cheated or anything on Shannon. I think they kind of just ended things. He just seems like a good guy, and I really like him, and I like his personality, and he's a short king, and we all know, if you know me, I feel about short kings. We like them over here on this podcast. So Josh is also up there for me to make it to the end on this season. Last but not least, we got Chris. And we all know Chris. I mean, he expected everyone to know who he was because he said it. Oh, I'm sure you all know me. And people were like, no, we don't. So awkward. He comes on, and I mean, this guy, he's not fooling anyone. We all know that you are here for the money. He made that very clear, that he's not here for any other reason but the money. But it's like, you were literally just in the villa 2 months ago. And so now all of a sudden, 2 months ago you wanted to find love, and now 2 months later you want money. Make it make sense. Because I'm telling you right now, and I said it on my podcast when I was recapping his season, I was like, this guy is only here for the fame. He's only here for the brand deals and what kind of comes along with being on Love Island. That's what he was there for. So, I don't know. I'm going to be honest. Chris is not my favorite. I don't get a good vibe from him at all. However, he is a professional athlete. And so if you want to win, be partnered up with Chris. Like, honestly, it's like, okay, if Chris is there and you're okay with, maybe you're not into him, but you want to win, partner up with that guy, because he will take you to the end and probably, most likely, maybe win the money. Because, like I said, he's a beast. He's almost 7 feet tall. He's ginormous, and he's a professional athlete. He has that professional athlete like mentality, like that, like they're built different. As much as I can say I can't stand the guy, athletes are built different. And so if you want to win, who else but to partner up with a professional athlete? Okay, this I have to talk about because I thought it was so funny. Did you guys notice when you were watching, all of these like Islanders were coming on like props? Like, people were coming in on helicopters. Someone came in on a ski-doo. Someone came in on, like, a jet. Like, people were coming in from, like, all different aspects of the villa, like, out in the water, from the sky and whatever. But then, when they actually came in and, like, they came into the villa, they were coming in from, like, the entrance. And I'm like, so was all of this just, like, pre-recorded? Of, like, you coming in, was that shot of you coming in from the helicopter, or that shot of you coming in from the jet ski, was that pre-recorded? And then the reactions of the people to be like, oh my gosh, look at that person coming in on a boat, or look at that person coming in, is that a helicopter? Was that pre-recorded? Like, why is no one talking about this? Like, I'm so curious, because how are they coming in on these props, and then them being like, hi, like, oh my gosh, like, come in, and they're coming in, and then they go all the way around to the entrance and walk in? No, like, they would obviously, I'm sure there's, like, a dock. They would come in from the dock, and they would walk in. So, I don't know, I'm like, there's a lot of, like, pre-recordedness stuff going on here, and I find it very sus. But I thought that was interesting. I haven't seen anyone really talk about that. I mean, I don't think it's a big deal. It's all in the editing, but, like, it is funny that it's like they're coming in on all these props, but then they're still walking in through the entrances like nothing, like they weren't coming in on those props. All right, so then we get into a challenge, and honestly, it's like there's nothing to talk about with the challenge other than the fact of I hate their challenges. The challenges on Love Island and Love Island Games are by far the worst challenges in any show. Like, any show. They're worse than Big Brother, and Big Brother challenges suck as well. Some are good, but majority of them are just corny and they're not great. But I can't stand the Love Island challenges. It's like, there's the kissing, there's this, there's that, there's the grinding. Like, I don't care and I don't want to see it. And the thing is is I always fast forward through the challenges. Like, okay, I watch one, I get the gist of it, and then I fast forward. I don't care to see people kiss, and I don't care to see people make out with their tongues. Like, it's just too much. I don't need to see it, you know? But then it's like, that's the whole point of this damn show, is the challenges. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to watch all of these challenges in their entirety because this is the point of the show. It's Love Island Games. I'm like, oh my God. Here we go. So I watched the challenge from the beginning to the end. It was boring. It's just like, what are they doing? They're literally just like trying to find these hearts. They have to like grab them in the slime. They have to grab all of them and put all four of them on a thing. Like, it's like, do something more competitive. Like, do something better. These challenges suck. You guys have all the money. Literally, Love Island, the budget is insane. They're filming in Fiji. Do a challenge on the beach. Do they have to go in the ocean? Do something. But I can't. I honestly, I don't know if it's just me that feels this way, but the challenges are honestly so painful for me to get through. They really are. And the fact that I have to watch them all, because that's the point of this damn show, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Okay, so now we get into everyone coupling up. And so we find out that basically, you know, whoever did the best in the challenge gets an advantage and they get to choose first. And the interesting thing is the top girl and the top boy can either couple up with each other and kind of like use that strategy of like, oh, maybe I'm not that into you, but if you're good at challenges, let's partner up because we want to make it to the end. Or you cannot partner up with them and be like, you know, money's cool, but I'm actually here for the love. And you can choose someone else, but you have your first go at it. You can choose first. So the people that win are Garby and Chris. Again, like I said, Chris is a professional athlete. Of course he was going to win that competition. So they go up and no one, let's just say this here. Everyone that went up did not pick their like corresponding partner. So like if you came in first or if you came in second, the two went up, they never picked each other. Everyone kind of like wanted someone else, which is interesting, right? Because it's like, even though if like your top two didn't really matter, you might have picked the boy in last, even though you don't know who the boy in last was, but you still know that your boy was better than the boy that you picked, you know? So I thought the coupling up was interesting. I liked majority of the couples. I actually did. I was like, oh yeah, I see that. I can see that. The one that really surprised me though was Garby. And I talked about this earlier. Garby and Kendall. Garby, what are you thinking? But again, like Garby, I don't think knows who Kendall is. And the funny thing is like Kendall finished last. And so she goes from like the most athletic guy to the absolute least athletic guy. Kind of embarrassing. I think the one, like, it's so good. Like, as much as I'm like, she shouldn't have chose him. I'm so over them. Like, please, no thank you. Garby and Ken? Come on. Garby and Ken. That is genius. Maybe that's why she picked him. It's like branding, hello. Garby and Ken. So, that's the only thing to me that they have going for them is their couple name. I think it is just so good. So good. Okay, so then Chris chose KK, which not surprised whatsoever because I think KK is absolutely stunning. And I mean, the thing that annoyed me about Chris is like, he was like, yeah, you know, like I want to win and blah, 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 blah. And then Ariana was like, well, then why didn't you go with Garby? Like she was number one girl. And he was like, yeah, but like she doesn't have what I saw at the challenge. And I don't want someone that's just like physically strong. I want someone that's like mentally strong. And Garby was like, how do you know that I'm not mentally strong? So it's just like, again, I just can't stand his like subtle jabs and his digs. You know, it's like Garby didn't do anything to you. Like to me, she was strong. She beat all of you. Like she actually beat him over anyone, right? Because she came in first. So it's like, don't talk to Garby like that. Chris, don't talk to her like that. He chooses KK. And again, like I talked about this earlier, KK's already smitten. And I'm like, okay, KK, let's not bring this back to your previous season. So hopefully she can kind of reel it in a little bit. And I hope that she kind of like plays the field, because I think if she learned anything from her last season, it's like, don't be all in. Let's see. I hope. Andrea goes next and she picks Josh. Love this pairing. I think they look so good together. So good. I'm loving them. Again, I mean, we all know what happened in the end and we'll talk about it. Hopefully they can find their way back, because I was on board with them. I was like, oh, they were one of my favorites because, you know, I love Josh. So we'll see. But I like that pairing when it happened. Tyreek, obviously, you know, no surprise there at all, chose Angelina. So they're together. I mean, we'll see. I think they obviously have a lot of chemistry, but it's too early to tell, you know? Like, it's like, okay, yeah, they have the relationship from offline, and so they've been chatting, and it's like everything has kind of built up, and they've never met before because he's in the UK, she's in America, and so now their first time meeting on the show, and all that kind of like pent up until this moment of them meeting, you know? So obviously they're going to choose each other, but let's see. Let's see. Because, I mean, according to Tyreek, he's leaning on the side of being here for the money. And so if Angelina isn't putting her weight in the challenges, then is he going to kind of jump ship and go with someone else? So that'll be interesting. Nicola and Isaiah are coupled up with each other. She chose him, and I don't think he's into her. I really don't. I kind of feel bad for her again. I don't think she's going to last long on this show. I just don't know if she knew what she got herself into. Like, I feel like Love Island Malta is maybe a little bit different, maybe, than what she's kind of used to, because I just feel like she saw the challenge and she looked shocked. Like, she looked so shocked. Like, this is what, oh my gosh, this is what we have to do. So I don't know. I like her, but I don't think she's going to last long. The last coupling is Mert and Lucinda. Lucinda's happy because that's who she wanted to be with all along. I mean, my, like, two of my favorite couples are no longer couples, which suck, which happened at the end. But again, like, it's still early. Things will change, I'm sure, and couples will come and go and switch up and stuff like that. But I think they look great. And again, like, I love Lucinda's banter. And I mean, I think out of anyone, like, Lucinda can kind of pull Mert and his personality out, even though he may be struggling to, you know, have it pulled out, because English, again, isn't his first language. But I mean, obviously not anymore, because someone picked him at the end of the episode. But we'll see. You never know, because according to Ariana, you never know what's going to happen on this season, because a lot is going to change. So I think that's going to be very interesting. Okay, before we get into the very end of the episode, when the two heartbreakers come in, I wonder why they don't call them bombshells in this episode. Do they ever call them bombshells? I don't know. They call them heartbreakers. Before we get into that, I thought this was so hilarious, and this is all I could think about. When they showed Chris, like, walking through the villa and, like, showing the other islanders, like, the speakeasy and showing them the areas and stuff, I'm like, the amount of fights and arguments that he had in that speakeasy with Huda just 2 months prior. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's probably like, oh my gosh, I have, like, PTSD being in here. I thought it was kind of hilarious, because he's, like, showing them the everywhere, and it's like, oh yeah, I had a fight with Huda over there, I had a fight with Huda over there, and there, and there. Oh my gosh, I thought that was so hilarious. Obviously, he didn't say it, but I'm like, I'm thinking it. I'm sure he's thinking it. That would have been hilarious if he was like, yeah, we fought there, we fought there, we fought there. Okay, so the very last point of the episode is the Heartbreakers come in. And I knew Charlie was a part of the cast, because when they announced the cast, he was a part of it. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh, Charlie's probably going to come in. Lo and behold, he comes in, as well as Solène. Didn't know who Solène was, but man, oh man, that girl came in. She came in hot, and she came in bold. Like, she means business. This girl is definitely there for the money. Like, you can just tell she's not there. I don't think she's there for the love. I think she's just strictly there for the money, because the way that she came in and, like, controlled that room, like, wow, like, it was a lot. Like, she came in and was mean business. And I mean, it was like typical Love Island fashion. they go around, they can kiss everyone, and then, you know, what bombshells do, even though they're not called bombshells, they can steal someone and then break up that couple, essentially. I thought Charlie also equally came in, like, he, like, tried to command that room, because I just feel like he has a massive chip on his shoulder from everything that happened in the last season that he was on, which obviously was season 7. And so I just feel like he came in with a bit of an ego, a chip on his shoulder. He just seemed a lot different. Like, the Charlie in season 7 seemed very passive, just seemed like a down-to-earth guy. But he came in, and he came in with a different level of energy. He came in, like, fiery, like, similar to Solenn. And, I mean, he was a bombshell, too. So he could have came in with that, like, commanding energy when he came in on his season. But I think he's just, like, so over it. Just so annoyed of everything that happened. His time was cut short. His time was cut short with the girl that he was with. Like, so I think he is just like, yeah, I'm here for it. Similar to Chris. I'm here for the money. Maybe not, because he did choose a blonde girl. I mean, are we surprised? Not surprised. But yeah, I like Charlie on his season. I did. So it's nice to see him again. But, like, I don't know. I think he's putting kind of a show on. He is, because we didn't see him like this on the last season. He came in with an ego. He definitely came in with an ego. So he then goes around, and again, they can kiss all the girls, and he ends up choosing Andrea, which for me sucked, because I loved Andrea and Josh together. Like, I really did. I was like, okay, they're riding it out to the end. Like, I get it. I see the pairing. Let's go. I'm into it. But you never know. Like, this is episode 1. It's early, so you never know what's going to happen. But yeah, I was a little bummed out when he chose Andrea. But I mean, the guy's got it tight. He likes blondes, you know? So then Solenn goes around, and I'm like, okay, she's French. And I'm like, okay, even though you're French, I don't need to see your tongue in every single kiss that you're doing. Like, it was too much. Like, I was actually, like, I'm like uncomfortable. Like, it's just too much. Too much. But anyways, she goes around, and lo and behold, she chooses Mert, which I was pretty surprised by. I wasn't expecting her to choose him, because Mert wouldn't even look at her in the face. Like, it was giving Jeremiah. Remember when Jeremiah wouldn't look at Yulisa when she was going around, and, like, he kissed her on the cheek because he wanted to be with Huda, and he's like, no, please don't pick me. Please don't pick me. It was giving off the same vibe. He wouldn't look at her. And she's like, oh, what? You won't look at me? And he's like, yeah, I'll look at you, whatever. But then she ends up choosing him, and I was pretty surprised by, and it sucks. And that's where I feel really bad for Lucinda, because this is where she said, it's just not my day. I lost the challenge. I lost my guy. It's just not my day. So I'm really hoping that Lucinda either finds her way back to Mert or finds another guy, because I really do genuinely like her, and I like the energy that she brings onto the show. But again, it's just episode 1. Things are going to change. I'm sure that partners are going to change multiple times. And it seems like Ariana has a lot up her sleeve, especially because Ariana came in the daytime and in the evening. Like, that never happens. Usually she's only there, like, she comes, she's there in the night. Or she comes, she's there in the day. Like, she never comes twice in one day. So I think there's going to be a lot of shakeups. I think, again, just knowing that they've kind of changed the formula of the show, it's happening in real time. America gets to vote. Like, I think there's just a lot of nuances that are going to change in this season. And I'm here for it, because that's typically what happens, right? Like, when they have a season 1, that's like the pilot. And then they take the learning from season 1 and it's like, okay, how can I make it better? You know, we'll see. We'll see if they're making it better. I think they are already making it in real time. Again, the only thing that I would say that I wish they had done was just waited a little bit, because it's like, it's still Love Island. I feel like season 7 is still panning out off air. Like, you have Iris and TJ just announced they're a couple, which is crazy. You know, like, it's wild. She was just with Pepe, and then he, allegedly cheated, and now her and TJ are with each other. So it's like, we're still getting our fix of Love Island on social media So I just wish maybe they had waited, but, I'm sure they have their reasons for why it's happening in September. So that was the recap of Love Island Games premiere season 2. I'm enjoying it so far. Honestly, any competition show I am game for. I love. You add some, trying to find love, throw that in, throw some money in, and throw some familiar faces in. I'm on board. So I enjoyed this episode. I will be back before you know it to recap probably episodes 2 and 3 because I'm assuming those happen back to back. So look out for that. That'll do it for me today. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Please rate, subscribe, review, do all of the things. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at yourrealitycheck.pod. And I cannot wait to chat with you in the next episode.